The worst nightmare has happened.
Developing overnight, more on that deadly bus crash carrying a junior hockey team, what NHL teams did to honor the players.
Picking up the pieces and moving forward after being associated with the crime is always hard. What local law enforcement is doing to making sure victims know their rights and know they're not alone is straight ahead.
And better get some gas this morning. Prices are expected to spike this week. Just how much more can you expect to pay? We'll tell you. Those stories plus your first alert weather and traffic. It all starts on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
And good morning. Welcome back from your weekend. Reality resets in now. It's Monday morning.
It does. Welcome to Monday, people. Do we
Yes.
have enough caffeine for this? We need to check here. Okay.
All right. 5 o'clock, April 9th. Glad you're with us. John Scalzi, how are you? How was your weekend, John?
Oh, it was great. Thank you very much. Did a lot of gardening and, household chores and everything like that. People across the street, though, painted a house, and I thought, that's probably, I hope it works out for them.
They didn't watch your forecast on Friday. You told them.
Yeah, we got a lot of rainfall at times over the weekend, and in fact, we're not done yet. We have more rain on the way, not only today, but especially tomorrow. Sometimes the rain could be heavy tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. For today, though, we'll start off okay. It's a little muggy out there, as I have been told already this morning, and I do agree. It is a muggy morning. We have a southerly wind flow that'll continue throughout the day today. Not much in the way of a lot of cloud cover across the region, and certainly not much in the way of any rainfall currently, although Tampa Bay has had a few, and Hillsborough County as well. I think as we head into the afternoon, we have a much better chance of seeing showers around here, though. Rain chance goes up to about 30 or 40% as we progress through the day. 72 degrees Lakewood Ranch, 71 in Bradenton, 71 in Sarasota, 73 in Venice, and we'll top it out today at about 82 warm, muggy degrees with increasing rain chances through the afternoon. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Be aware of that ongoing construction project at State Road 64's off-ramp as you head north on I-75. Otherwise, a delay there on 301 southbound as you approach Whitfield. Let's check the northern half of Sarasota County now. And we'll see, let's see, a little different looking map today. Not exactly sure what to tell you about that. It looks like, again, 301 southbound around Whitfield. And then we'll check our final map to the south and find not much to report right now at 5:02 on your Monday morning.
All right, thanks for joining us this morning. It's a very interesting morning because there's been some interesting stories over the weekend as well. NHL teams across the country and Canada paid tribute yesterday to the victims of the Canadian junior hockey team bus crash.
As ABC's Candace Gibson shows us, the pros wore special jerseys and paused on behalf of the young players who were killed.
Overnight, remembering the hockey heroes of Humboldt, a tight-knit town of 5,000 in rural Saskatchewan. Thousands packing the Broncos home, including the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, honoring the junior hockey team involved in that deadly crash.
This tragedy has devastated our families, our Humboldt Broncos organization, our community, Saskatchewan, Canada, and our world.
The team's president choking up as he read the names of the players who lost their lives.
Connor Lucan, Evan Thomas.
The Broncos were heading to a playoff game when their bus collided with a tractor-trailer carrying Pete Moss. 15 people died, including the team's head coach, the bus driver, and several young players.
Our favorite player was Logan Boulet. Yeah, number 27.
Logan Boulet, a team member who was taken off life support, helped turn tragedy into hope. Family members say the 21-year-old donated his organs, saving 6 lives.
Offer a moment of silence.
The tributes pouring in from the NHL, the Chicago Blackhawks, and the Winnipeg Jets, wearing Broncos jerseys in tribute. And this moving photo of 3 of the surviving players holding hands from their hospital beds has now been shared by people all around the world. Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
Developing overnight, a charter bus carrying teens returning from a spring break trip hit a bridge overpass on Long Island, mostly ripping off the top of that bus. New York State Police said the crash happened just after 9 o'clock last night. 6 passengers were seriously injured. 37 others suffered minor injuries. The students and their chaperones on board were from several different Long Island high schools, and they were headed to a shopping mall to meet up with their parents. Well, murders and robberies and shootings, unfortunately, crimes do happen every day across the country. But in the aftermath, it is crime victims who often struggle to deal with what happened.
As part of National Crime Victims' Rights Week, law enforcement agencies across the Suncoast want to make sure victims know that they are not alone and there are services available to help. Marla Spence joins us now live from the Child Protection Center in Sarasota with how the Sheriff's Office in Sarasota plans to reach more victims. Marla?
Victims don't know their rights, and they also don't know how to go about getting justice. This week, Suncoast law enforcement is making sure victims of all crimes know they're not alone or forgotten. We spoke to the victim advocate coordinator with the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. She tells us her department helps victims with crisis intervention and emotional support after deputies respond to a call.
So as an advocate, it's our job also not only to provide crisis intervention and support, but also advise them of those rights and make sure those rights are being upheld through the community, through law enforcement, the state attorney's office, that they're being notified of events and things that are going on within the criminal justice system so that they're kept in the loop and they can be part of that.
All last week, proclamations were designated to this week, making it Crime Victims' Rights Week, and that was across cities like Northport, Arcadia, and even the city of Sarasota. And today in Sarasota County, a proclamation will be designating this week to that very cause. Now, right here at Child Protection Services, dozens of people will be gathering tonight in order to come together for this week. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to be telling you what exactly they're going to be doing and what Sarasota County Sheriff's Office will be doing in order to help those victims. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Sarasota for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. Usually very emotional ceremonies at those events tonight. For the latest on this story and breaking news and the forecast, check out our app under WWSB or under My Suncoast. Well, the list is growing, happening now in Florida. The state of Florida will join a lawsuit against the makers and sellers of opioids. Attorney General Pam Bondi says pharmaceutical companies are partly to blame for the state's opioid problem. The state medical examiner says nearly 6,000 people died in 2016 from opioid abuse. That's about a third more than the previous year. But some fear this lawsuit won't help the statewide issue since the drugs are already out on the streets.
The only thing they could do to avoid any further damage, I think, is to stop selling some of the things that they sell, and there's a definite need for a lot of it.
The city of Sarasota and Manatee County have already joined more than 200 municipalities nationwide by filing a lawsuit against drug manufacturers.
And a big announcement today expected from Governor Rick Scott. The big money is on revealing his run for Senate. The governor is scheduled to make that announcement at an Orlando construction company today. Scott, who is leaving office in early 2019 due to term limits, has been hinting at a run against U.S. Senator Bill Nelson for more than a year now. Now, the two, of course, have been going back and forth most recently over what to do about gun violence and gun control. President Trump has already publicly encouraged Scott to run. Nelson is Florida's only statewide elected Democrat.
Phase 1 of Venice's road repaving program is all but complete now. Now the hard part, the downtown area. The completed work represents the majority of repaving 70 miles of bad roads, sidewalk, curb repair, and enhancements to bring the area up to compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. The downtown phase gets underway later on this month. It'll include repaving West Tampa, West Venice, and West Miami Avenues between Harbor Drive and Business 41, as well as Nokomis Avenue from Santa Maria south to Ponce de Leon. The contractor will also replace sidewalks during non-business hours.
Well, cleaner parks could be on the way in Venice. The Venice City Council says this week they plan on pushing for better negotiations with Sarasota County into getting a new parks agreement. Now, the city is expected to propose to take back maintenance of fewer parks and do it over a longer period of time to ease the annual effect on local taxpayers. The county's been operating and maintaining 11 city-owned parks under the current agreement, plus a Venetian Waterway Park. And today is expected to be a big day for Sarasota County Area Transit. They are celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Siesta Key Breeze Trolley by honoring passenger number 250,000. That celebration is going to be at the gazebo in the Siesta Key Village. That lucky rider is going to score a gift basket filled with all kind of goodies and gift cards. The free trolley that runs from Siesta Key Village to Turtle Beach operates from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. It also runs until midnight on the weekends.
Brace yourself next time you fill your gas tank. The average price shot up by 8 cents a gallon over the past 2 weeks. The increase brings the national average now to $2.74. The increase was driven primarily by rising crude oil prices. According to the app Gas Buddy, the average price of gas in Sarasota is $2.55, about 19 cents less than the national average. The lowest price in the area is about $2.45. Now, when you have to fill your gas tank, do you look for cheap prices or you look for the closest place?
Well, sometimes it's one, but I am a big fan of Gas Buddy. I will always do that. If I know that I'm heading out after work to do that, I'll pull up Gas Buddy. I'm pretty.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, pretty strict about it. How about you?
I see my gas tank's empty. I think, well, there's a gas station. I'll go there. But there are certain
gas station. Love this guy right here.
Yeah, I know. There are certain ones I do try to avoid, though. I think some are routinely cheaper.
You tend to know which ones are a little higher than others.
Yeah. 5:11 right now, still ahead. Your first alert traffic, and the attorney for adult actress Stormy Daniels isn't going away quite yet. He's promising a big announcement this week in the case.
And coming up a little later in the hour, a warning for you this morning, the scam that officials want you to be aware of as you finish up filing your taxes. Wait till you see this one. But first, what's the weather looking outside today, John Scalzi?
You just reminded me of taxes. So I got clouds hanging over my head, not only in Texas, but also in the forecast for today. Plenty of clouds around building. We have a frontal boundary kind of stalled out just to our north. That stalled out frontal boundary is kind of a focus for showers, has been all weekend long. Well, today it lifts back north as a warm front. We stay hot and humid. Our temperatures across the region generally holding in the 70s. Give you the forecast in a minute.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that. And with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Now, your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, no two ways about it. We are in a hot and humid pattern over the course of the next several days. 73 degrees already. The current temperature and the dew point is in the 70s. When you have dew points in the 70s, I think most everybody will agree it feels really sticky out there. Plus, we have some cloud cover around. Not much in the way of rainfall yet, but that's coming. We still have a couple of days of high, actually, rainfall chances until we start to clean things out. South wind responsible for all that humid air in place. Let's put the futurecast into motion. You can see the southerly wind flow just continues really throughout the day today. A few scattered showers around, perhaps by noon. Better chance of rainfall, I think, comes in the afternoon, but there'll be clouds around all the time. Then tomorrow, we start thinking about the afternoon time frame when showers will become more abundant. And in fact, a frontal boundary will be sinking southward. Even into the wee hours of Wednesday morning, we'll have showers on our doorstep until the front actually makes its way through. I think probably by drive time early on Wednesday morning, everything will have cleared out and we'll be looking at a pretty nice day on Wednesday. But until then, Tuesday particular, tomorrow particularly, in the afternoon and evening, we have a chance of seeing some heavy rainfall around. This morning, everything's pretty quiet on Titan Radar. I think your commute this morning should be pretty quiet, rain-free. I can't promise you that on the way back from work this afternoon and evening, though. There will be some scattered showers around. We have a couple of areas of low pressure. The one to the north of us is really not going to influence our weather all that much. It will give another quick hit of snow showers to parts of the Ohio Valley. But for us, this area of low pressure lifts this warm front north, keeps us warm and muggy until a frontal boundary approaches tomorrow. That's the one that could trigger off some of the heavier rainfall. In fact, some of the rainfall amounts, especially just to our north and north central Florida, could be up around 3-inch rainfalls, but certainly some of those heavier rains are possible here locally in isolated pockets. Until that front moves south and out of the area, we'll be in this warm, humid, muggy condition, and that will probably occur tomorrow night as the front sinks southward. So, humid with sun-cloud mix for today. A chance of showers possible, especially during the later half of the afternoon into the early evening hours. And then overnight tonight, also a possibility of a shower around as everyone is sleeping. And then tomorrow, possibly some heavy rain as the front itself actually makes it to our doorstep and brings us some of that heavier rain shower activity. So as far as thunderstorm activity goes on Tuesday, I would say that our area does have that potential of seeing that thunderstorm risk. Most of the country, though, is going to be pretty quiet as most of those storm systems will have left the area. So we'll watch for that. No severe weather anticipated, but as I said, it could be quite a rain producer with dew points in the 70s. So total rainfall amounts, well, this particular futurecast shows that some places just to our north come up with over 2-inch rainfalls, while locally we stay in the 1 to half-inch rainfalls. We'll see how it actually plays out. It's a little hard to make those precipitation forecasts this far out, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see those showers in progress. Then as we head into Tuesday, the front sinks southward. Wednesday starts to clear out and we look for a beautiful day. And that trend will carry on for the rest of the work week with lower relative humidity and very little rain chance. Bring a rain chance back in over the weekend, though small one, a lot of time to figure that one out, but there is the potential again for some good rain showers, particularly on Sunday. South wind comes in at about 10 knots throughout the day today. Boaters, you got a light chop today, but they'll be dodging some showers and maybe a thunderstorm out in the Gulf. 40% chance of storms today. The 40% is mostly for tonight. Most of the daylight hours will feature about a 30%. Then tomorrow, about a 70% chance of showers, some of them heavy. That continues on till the wee hours of Wednesday morning, clearing out as dawn breaks, and then we're left with several days in a row of some pretty nice weather till we get to the weekend, and then we'll see how that plays out. But a chance of showers on Sunday. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. The attorney for adult actress Stormy Daniels is trying to depose President Trump again. Attorney Michael Avenatti filed a motion last night in federal court against President Trump and his personal attorney, Michael Cohen. Daniels' lawyer is arguing that the $130,000 agreement she signed with Cohen before the 2016 election to keep quiet about the alleged affair is not valid. Avenatti requested a deposition of Trump and Cohen, each of no more than 2 hours.
So will a medical marijuana dispensary be allowed on Fruitville Road? The Sarasota County Commission is expected to get feedback from the public on that this week. Now, if it is approved, the dispensary is expected to open at the Cobia Bay Shopping Center on Fruitville Road. Earlier this year, the city of Sarasota lifted a ban on medical marijuana dispensaries. However, the city still only allows them to be built in specifically designated areas.
If you would like to make a difference in the lives of seniors and those with disabilities, this one's for you. The Medicare counseling program called SHINE, which stands for Serving Health Insurance Needs of Elders, is looking for volunteers to assist Medicare beneficiaries, their families, and caregivers in Sarasota and Charlotte counties. If you want to learn more about the program, check out the address on the webpage here, floridashine.org.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, another day, another big world-changing project from billionaire Elon Musk. How a new test is going to be taking us one step closer to a revolutionary new way to get around underground.
And happening today, opening statements in Bill Cosby's sex assault retrial begin in the Philadelphia area. Should see a high of 82 degrees and some clouds today. Here's a peek outside our window, some clouds there on the horizon. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
I just think it's unnecessary, and I think it is another way of sort of slapping around public education, if you will.
Term limits for local school board members. Florida voters may decide in November whether the local school board should have term limits just like the governor. I'm Alan Cohn. No term limits at the trapezoid, but lots of good ideas.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
First alert traffic this morning at 5:23. Now the roads are actually a little more congested than they usually are around this time. 301 is starting to see a lot of buildup right there, particularly around the area of State Road 70, and that's in Manatee County. If you're heading into Sarasota County, those roads are not looking too bad at the moment. We took a look at the traffic maps earlier, and those were actually looking pretty good. So not too much to see out there. 5:23 with your traffic.
Frequent visitors to Florida State Park could soon get some prizes. The Florida Park Service is launching a new incentive program. It's called the Deluxe Real Florida Passport. Visitors collect stamps from the state's 175 parks, and those who collect stamps from each park will then be eligible for an annual family pass.
So has YouTube been making money off your kids? Well, 20 advocacy groups filed a complaint against YouTube yesterday, calling on the FTC to investigate the Google subsidiary for allegedly violating the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. Those groups, made up of child, consumer, and privacy coalitions, claim that YouTube has illegally been collecting data on 23 million kids over an undisclosed amount of time. Now, the groups are actually asking the FTC to fine YouTube up to roughly $41,000 per violation. Now, their terms of service say it is not for anyone under 13, but it is still easy for young kids to sign up for an account. Well, tech billionaire Elon Musk is revealing a new test coming for his company's Hyperloop.
We have details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a high-speed challenge for Elon Musk.
The tech billionaire says his Hyperloop will soon undergo a test with hopes of it going 400 miles an hour and then braking in less than a mile. It's a next step in his goal to bring travelers between cities at 700 miles an hour. Instagram is shutting down drug hashtags.
Posts with hashtags like OxyContin or opioids no longer show up in searches. The Food and Drug Administration says social media sites are being used to buy and sell prescription drugs illegally, adding to the opioid crisis. A California company is hoping to build the world's first luxury space hotel.
So they're looking to welcome visitors within 5 years. Guests will enjoy zero gravity, amazing views of Earth, and 16 sunrises and sunsets a day. The going rate, nearly $10 million for a 12-day stay.
Good blackout shades, I hope.
I would hope.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Safelite Auto Glass.
At Safelite Auto Glass, we know that when you're spending time with the grandkids, every minute counts. And you don't have time for a cracked windshield. That's why at Safelite, we'll show you exactly when we'll be there with a replacement you can trust. Well done, sir.
Looks great.
Thanks for choosing Safelite.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Saving you time so you can keep saving the world.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Allergies with sinus congestion and pressure? You won't find relief here. Go to the pharmacy counter for powerful Claritin D. While the leading allergy spray relieves 6 symptoms, Claritin D relieves 8, including sinus congestion and pressure. Claritin D relieves more.
The Laughing Cow cheese is spreadable, dippable,
Do your thing.
dunkable, whatever you wantable. So however you snack, snack like you. The Laughing Cow.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed. Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
ABC 7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
New developments this morning coming out of Syria. A suspected chemical attack against civilians. Then, in retaliation, the bombing of an airbase.
Surviving a crime is never easy to get through. What resources are available on the Suncoast? Straight ahead.
And the tax deadline is next week, but a new scam is making the rounds this morning. We'll have details this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Good morning to you. Welcome to this Monday morning. Was it just me, or did the weekend go really fast this weekend?
It did. Often does.
Yes, it is.
Back to Monday already. It's 5:30, and the forecast doesn't look like the Chamber of Commerce endorsed some changes tomorrow, John, huh?
Yeah, you know, if we look at it on the good side, we need the rainfall.
We do.
We do. We really need the rainfall. And the rainfall that we had over the weekend had a very positive effect on our fire danger across the area. So, bitter with the sweet, you know, we'll get it out of the way Monday, Tuesday, part of Wednesday, and then the rest of the week looks pretty good, except for next weekend. We'll talk about that in a few. A little bit of cloud cover across the region. Cloud cover not producing any rainfall this morning, so your morning commute looks okay, but there are a few scattered showers the further north you go. Hillsborough County likely to see a few scattered showers around. We are looking at temperatures that come in near the 70-degree mark, most everywhere, especially along the coast as we have a wind kind of lifting up out of the Gulf waters. So that's producing the moisture, the thick moisture that we're seeing across, especially coastal areas. As we head into the afternoon, our rain chances will go up. They start off the day at about 20% for maybe a sprinkle, maybe a passing sprinkle. But as we head into the afternoon, especially after about 3, 4, 5 o'clock, then we'll have a decent chance of seeing a shower or perhaps even a thunderstorm. Then tomorrow, things really do change for the weather, and we'll talk about that coming up in a few.
All right. Thank you, John. Very animated. There's the roads right now. Early buildup there in 301, particularly in the southbound lane as you head back towards Sarasota County. Also, State Road 70 in the eastbound lane. Checking farther south, little blip there toward the top in and out of Lakewood Ranch. Also, Fruitville Road. Plenty of activity already eastbound around McIntosh, Honore, Cattleman. Checking farther south now to our final maps, we'll see a few buildups on 75 southbound and also on 41 in both directions around the Northport area.
Well, President Trump has tweeted out a warning to the president of Syria, saying that he could, quote, pay a big price for a suspected chemical attack over the weekend. Then overnight, 8 missiles hit a Syrian airbase.
At first, the U.S. was suspected, but both the Russian military and Syrian officials say Israel was behind the attack.
These horrifying images appear to show the aftermath of another suspected chemical attack in Syria. Children gasping for air as workers wash an unknown substance off their bodies. The strikes came just after dusk on Saturday in the district of Douma, near the capital of Damascus. At least 40 people were killed. While the U.S. assesses the strike, President Trump labeled it a mindless chemical attack, blaming Putin, Russia, and Iran for backing Animal Assad. This is the first time Mr. Trump has denounced Russian President Vladimir Putin on Twitter. The White House is not ruling out a military response.
I wouldn't take anything off the table. These are horrible photos. We're looking into the attack at this point.
Just over a year ago, these images of children after a suspected sarin gas attack prompted President Trump to order military strikes on a Syrian airfield.
When you kill innocent children, innocent babies, little babies, with a chemical gas that is so lethal that crosses many, many lines beyond the red line.
On Sunday, state-run media reported missiles struck central Syria. What they described was likely, quote, an American aggression. But the Pentagon says the U.S. is not conducting airstrikes in the country at this time.
Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, says the U.S. and 8 other countries have called for an emergency UN Security Council meeting today to discuss the alleged attack. She tweeted, quote, strong action is needed. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
Well, after the crime scene tape goes down, investigators leave, there are people whose lives will never be the same ever again.
Oftentimes, crime victims don't know what to do next to get justice and the help that they need. Law enforcement agencies across the country and here on the Suncoast are reaching out this week to help those in the community during Crime Victims' Rights Week. Marla Spence is live now from the Child Protection Center in Sarasota with details of an event tonight. Marla?
Good morning, guys. Dozens of people will be here at the center tonight. For some, it'll be an emotional night to relive that crime that happened to them, but there is help available. Police officers and sheriff deputies will be here to meet with victims. They'll be giving them advice and information on what to do next. There will be everything from legal advice to counseling, and victims will be able to talk to one another about their experiences.
It's for victims of all crimes, no matter what the crime is. So it could be domestic violence, sexual battery, homicide, someone stole my bicycle, those kinds of things. It doesn't matter what crime that the victim was part of. It's important to bring them together and to show them that they're not alone, that there is hope, there is support, there is lots of resources in the community to help them through.
That event will start at 6:30 tonight here at Child Protection Center on South Orange Avenue in Sarasota. Tomorrow, the city of Bradenton will hold a candlelight vigil with a dove release in honor of this week. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Sarasota for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you for the latest on this story and breaking news and the changing forecast. Check out our app under My Suncoast or under WWSB.
Opening statements in Bill Cosby's sex assault retrial begin today. The criminal case in Pennsylvania will hang on the word of Andrea Constan. Now, she says she was at Cosby's home near Philadelphia back in January of 2004 when she claims that he drugged her, then assaulted her. And supermodel Janice Dickinson, she's also reportedly set to testify later on this week. In Cosby's first trial that ended in a hung jury, his attorneys argue that he and Constan were actually in a consensual sexual relationship, and they questioned her version of how it happened.
Facebook's CEO is going to Capitol Hill this week. Lawmakers want answers from Mark Zuckerberg. He'll answer questions about privacy issues. He'll appear before the Senate Judiciary and Commerce Committees tomorrow, and then the House Energy and Commerce Committee on Wednesday.
Well, the tax filing deadline is just eight short days away. While you're busy working on your return, some scammers are busy trying to steal your identity and your money. The IRS says thousands of people have lost both money and personal information to tax scams. Those scammers use the regular mail and the phone, of course, to try and rip off individuals, businesses, even tax professionals by pretending to be the IRS and then demanding money. One tax specialist almost became a victim, and now she wants to help others.
I would feel bad if I didn't do it and put awareness out there, and then I hear that 2 or 3 of my clients or somebody else's client or one of my friends got caught out there and they took their money. I would feel very bad to know that I could do something and I didn't.
Now, as a reminder, the IRS says they do not call to demand any kind of payment over the phone. The government, of course, will first mail you a bill if you owe anything on tax season. And, of course, you're reminded to call the police immediately if you suspect that you are being scammed. And Sarasota County Commissioners have a decision to make this week on a controversy hotel proposed for Siesta Key. On Wednesday, the commission is expected to hold a hearing on whether or not to approve a zoning ordinance that would increase the allowable building height within the Siesta Key overlay district. Now, plans for that hotel hit a snag in June last year when a county's board rejected the developer's initial design to build that proposed hotel near Stickney Point and Midnight Pass roads, a little bit closer to the street.
Happening today, the Atlanta Braves will open a storefront in Northport. This is a live look at the Braves Spring Training Center in the Cornerstone Plaza just west of Sumter Boulevard on Tamiami Trail. The team will start playing full-time in Northport in the spring of 2020, and they'll play one ceremonial game next year, final game of the spring. There's our respective Facebook pages. Make sure you stop by and say hello, like the pages. We try to upload daily content every day on the social media.
We do. I've got a great story on there right now about a great story when Facebook Live goes wrong for a reporter.
Yes.
Some people think that she is talking to herself and call police when she's actually just doing a Facebook Live
for
her station. Great story. Got to check it out. I've got that on my Facebook, as well as the new Star Wars trailer that was just released hours ago. You know I'm on that, people.
You had me hooked on the first one.
Right? Ray's like, I don't care about the second one.
That's awesome. Still ahead, latest and first alert traffic and...
It's not unusual for a police department to have a K-9 unit. Why one department decided to recruit felines instead.
5:39 right now. Look outside our window. Some conditions might be changing here on the Sun Coast, John Scalzi.
Yes, indeed. I think they will. Taking a look at the forecast for today. Well, I forgot my clicker, so let me go over here and advance the whole thing. I know, must be a Monday morning. Okay, so there we go. 7 o'clock this morning, not too bad. 20% chance of showers. But as we head into the afternoon, oh my goodness, rain chances start to go up. And tomorrow, I think, we have a likelihood of seeing some heavier rainfall. We'll talk about that in just a minute.
Fun for the whole family, the 26th Annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, benefiting special athletes of Sarasota County, fossil vendors, arts and crafts, food, children's games, and live entertainment with headliners the Gator Creek Band on Friday night, Rockin' Rogues, Maiden Cane, Glass Onion, Kettle of Fish, Paisley Craze, and the Boogeymen. Admission $4, children 12 and under free. Parking is free. The annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, April 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Venice Airport Festival Grounds.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. We're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
75-degree air temperature outside. The dew point now at 73. It feels really muggy because of those dew points in the 70s. We need to lower those dew points so the air feels a little more comfortable, and we're going to do that. It's just going to take a couple of days to get there. A little bit of cloud cover out there. No rain-producing cloud at the present time, but that will probably change as we head into the afternoon, get a little heating going on. And the amount of humidity in the air even increases maybe a little bit more thanks to that southerly wind that's behind a warm front, actually, that's lifting north across central Florida. 70 degrees, we'll go with by around 7 o'clock this morning. We'll have about a 20% chance of a passing sprinkle. That's about it, nothing heavier. And then as we head into the afternoon, our rain chances start to go up. Later in the afternoon, by 3 p.m., we're at 82 degrees. It'll be really muggy, I think, during the afternoon. And then that 30% chance lingers until about 7 o'clock with a temperature of 78 degrees. And it'll go up even higher than that as we head toward tomorrow morning. Tomorrow looks to be kind of a wet day. 71 degrees in Northport, 73 in Inglewood, 71 in Parrish. A wind coming up out of the south continues to pump in the moisture. An isolated sprinkle, not out of the question through noon today. And then as we head into the afternoon hours, a lot more cloud cover comes around, and the potential, I think, for a few thunderstorms as we head into tomorrow. I think our rain chances will start to go up significantly, and some of these rainstorms could be kind of heavy by after dark Tuesday night. So we'll watch the showers mostly to the north of us through the morning hours, but an occasional shower here locally. Everything's pretty quiet right now on radar. There's a frontal boundary kind of stretched right across north central Florida. If you look at the temperatures across the nation, the colder air remains locked to the north. Check it out. Chicago coming in at 31, Minneapolis at 24, St. Louis at 34. Chance of snow showers even in those locations. But to the south of that, in the deep south, it's not too bad. 60s, even some close to 70s in places. Certainly our temperature is in the 70s in Florida. Now, one of the things that is going to make a difference in the forecast is the dew point structure. Remember, dew point is how much moisture there is in the atmosphere. And look at the state of Florida. You can pretty much see we have some very dry air located just to the north, dew points in the 50s. That's comfortable. I'd like to see some of that 50 dew point down our way. But for most of central and south Florida, we have dew points in the sticky 70s. That's because there's that frontal boundary that's kind of draped right across North Florida, separating the dry, somewhat cooler air from the moist, humid air over us. And that's not going anywhere for a couple of days anyway. The front is a warm front located right along here with a low-pressure area back to our west. That warm front lifts north today. As it lifts north, we stay in that southerly air, the southerly air pushing the warm front north. Then tomorrow, after we've had that nice little fetch of southerly air bringing our moisture values way up and priming the pump for showers and thunderstorms, we'll get this cold front to move through here. And that cold front has the potential of triggering some showers and thunderstorms across Florida, across the Sun Coast, that could produce some significant rainfall totals. And that would be kind of nice to see, especially at this time of year when we don't get a lot of good rains. So hopefully we'll pick up maybe as much as an inch, maybe 2 of rainfall as we head into tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow evening. It'll be humid today, sun-cloud mix, chance of rainfall at about 30% during daylight hours, and then rains, possibly a thunderstorm this afternoon. But then tomorrow, that's when the heavier rains will start, and most likely the chance for the heaviest of the rains will be in the second half of the day. That's the thought. Severe thunderstorm risk? No, we don't really have one with this frontal passage tomorrow. It looks like just standard thunderstorms. So the forecast looks like this. Beach and boating, not bad today. Those winds will be elevated tomorrow, though, as that front approaches south at about 10 knots. Light chop today. The forecast looks like this. Today, 40% chance of showers, especially later in the evening and then toward night, 82. And then tomorrow, I'll go ahead and call it a first alert weather day tomorrow, only because there could be some really heavy rainfall in the second half of the day. 70% chance of rain. And then that rainfall lingering into about dawn on Wednesday clears out pretty quickly, and Wednesday looks like it'll be a fairly decent day. Certainly Thursday, Friday, and Saturday all look pretty good. Sunday, perhaps a chance of another rain event. We'll talk about it.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look outside to your first alert traffic out there today. The roads are running pretty smooth. We were seeing some backups right there on 301 and 70, but most of those have started to clear up. Now, those are in Manatee County. This is a map for Sarasota. You're starting to see some slowdowns right there on University Parkway, as well as Bee Ridge Road, and a little bit of slowdown right there on Fruitville Road. If you want to go a little bit farther south in the area, those areas are looking pretty decent. There's one little blip right there on 75, but nothing really to worry about. 549, that's your first alert traffic.
A real milestone today for the Atlanta Braves. They're opening their new storefront in Northport. This is a live look at the Spring Training Preview Center. It's in the Cornerstone Plaza on Tamiami Trail, just west of Sumter Boulevard. The team will start playing full-time in Northport in the spring of 2020. Of course, they're going to play one final game in 2019. They're going to play their first game as the last game of the spring in 2019, and then play full-time there in the spring of 2020. Confused yet? A local animal shelter will reopen this week after an outbreak of the highly contagious parvovirus. At least 5 puppies at Nate's Honor Animal Rescue in Bradenton were diagnosed with the deadly disease. They believe the puppies contracted the virus after being transported in from another shelter. So this shelter is now safe for both adults, dogs, and puppies.
Well, as we know, plenty of police departments have canines, but one department now has a feline. One department in Troy, Michigan is switching it up. They went on the hunt for good candidates.
Nice.
Ray, for the first police feline. The department said on Twitter last month that it would get a cat if they got 10,000 followers by this month, which they did. Officers say they just want to show off their human side.
Troy police, but police everywhere, being able to connect with our community and show our human side. And this cat campaign has had a lot of success in that area.
And the good news, the department did find its new crime-fighting cat. They had narrowed it down the search to just 5. The other 4 candidates, Ray,
got it,
are now up for adoption. The cat will be used for outreach as well as a partnership with the Michigan Humane Society. All right, I like those things. That's
hopefully
pretty good.
no allergies there.
Yes. Yes, there's the downside.
All right, we'll see a high of 82 today, but in Washington, D.C., a high of 47. Right now, it's 38 degrees in our nation's capital. Live look at the White House and the pretty flag flying high above it.
That is right, and the light is on because Melania and Barron are back from spring break this week. Lots of activity going on there today. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Thanks to all of you who participated in ABC7's Caribbean Cruise Giveaway Contest. Join us as we celebrate our grand prize winner, Joyce Fakowski of Northport. Married for 13 years in June, Joy and her husband, Don, are excited to celebrate their anniversary on a spectacular 7-night luxury Caribbean cruise for two. Congratulations, Joy and Don. Bon voyage. ABC7, we're here for you.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
If you're looking for a rewarding job you'll love, good news. The perfect job is just a click away. Go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day. It's that easy. Stop searching and go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day to find the perfect job for you.
Here are some of the top stories that we are following for you today on the Suncoast.
Governor Scott is expected to announce his run for Senate today. The Naples businessman has served 2 terms as governor and is expected to launch a campaign against Democratic Senator Bill Nelson.
Plus, as a reminder, it is National Crime Victims Awareness Week. There's an event tonight at the Child Protection Center on the corner of Orange and Mound in Sarasota. You can find details online at mysuncoast.com.
And the retrial begins today for Bill Cosby near Philadelphia. He's charged with drugging and molesting a woman 14 years ago. His first trial ended in a mistrial last June.
And coming up in the next hour, April is the month for raising awareness on autism. We're going to tell you what some of the events are planned here locally and why it is so important to get your kids tested.
Yep, good idea. So this is how I start my Monday. This one comes in and says, did you even notice my hair?
I'm like the work wife. I'm like, look, it's like 2 inches shorter. Ray, you let me down. You didn't notice my haircut.
I play many roles here, don't I?
Listen, you're gonna have to make up for all the men missing in my life.
I don't know what that involves.
I don't know either.
5:56 right now. We are going to recap things and update things and do all those things we like to do.
I'm going to get on Match.com right now.
It's a Monday, folks, and we are glad you're with us.